Hey guys, welcome back to Super Hostile Online. Last time we explored the housing areas of Velgard City here, and today we're going to be exploring Eastern Commons. Now, wanted to stop by this the Garden of the Three Paths real quick to show you that things are a little bit different. Most of the novice ranks are gone. Novice 5 is left on, it's free now. And all of these have been dropped down by 50 levels, so you can get a class hat really easily now, and dying is nearly as punishing as it used to be. Like, the highest rank we can get right now is 6. It used to be 8, but Vex actually changed the requirements. You can actually... Before, you used to be able to hit rank 3 without a wall. Now you can only hit rank 1 without a wall. And so the max, with the new dungeons that have been added, the max is back to 8. But since I don't have the new walls yet, it's 6 for me, so... Which is fine. But it's only level 60 now, which is a huge improvement. Compared to, whatever it was before. I think it was 110? Yeah, 110. So, yeah, that's really nice. Especially because there's a lot of stuff now that can kill you. Ever since the update to Super Hostile Online, I've died at least 20 times. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how much I've died. Yeah, things are pretty difficult. We're gonna be seeing some of the new mobs in this episode because there's actually an area of Eastern Commons that spawns them, so we'll be taking a look at them shortly. We're just running across the bridge here. We've seen all of this before, so we're dropping down here, and we can completely miss the slime blocks. That's fine. There's a few... I didn't really bother to look at all of this stuff before. This is the Overrun Bastion. It's mainly just a place where you can store stuff in your ender chest. I would like to get up there, but you're in my way. I'm playing really badly suddenly. Yeah, there's just an ender chest up here if you're grinding out here. Like, if you're early game, this is the place where I would recommend that you grind, because the monsters here around Eastwatch are really easy. So, over here we've got the Skittering Cave. This place mainly spawns spiders and cave spiders also. Cave spiders drop. I think I've mentioned this before, but cave spiders actually drop prime spider meat, which can be cooked into steak. This place used to be really dangerous. You're just a normal spider, but this place used to be really dangerous because badass monsters would spawn in here, which are basically like super powered versions of regular monsters, and they would just kill everyone. Unless you were with a group, you were pretty much screwed. But now it's a pretty safe spot, and that's where I would recommend going if you need food. You can grind there. So the place we're actually going to take a look at today is not on this side of Eastern Commons, but it's actually on the other side. Eastern Commons has 3 different dojos of its own. We've taken a look at all the first 5 dojos in the dungeons, and there are 3 more in Eastern Commons that I would like to take a look at, if I can remember where they are. There should be like a cave entrance here somewhere. It's basically the cave that we came out of when we visited Magenta. That cave is where we're heading, if I can actually find it. Okay, I'll probably edit some of that out because that's kind of embarrassing. I was actually on the wrong side after all. This is the right side. So we're going into this cave again. We've already seen this place when we came back from Magenta. We saw it. I like how you can see the hints of magenta in the walls here. It's a pretty neat cave, and it's nicely lit up. This part of the cave doesn't really spawn any bad stuff. It's mainly when you go deeper into the cave. And even then, the enemies that spawn there are really easy. So, yeah, this is where we came out of. And there should be a secret wall that we're looking for. Oh, hey, a spider jockey. You don't see those every day. If I remember correctly, it is over here. Yeah, this is the place. So, you come here and you're like, well, this just looks like a random wall. What do I do here? Well, there's actually a button here that you can just barely see or can't see, and I didn't do a good enough job of running through that door. But this actually leads you to a hidden area, and I gotta be careful here because this bridge is not safe. And you don't want to fall down there because there's a void down there, so... And so over here, I haven't been to this area since the update. I hope it's still safe and there's no little surprises here, but this is the hidden cave dojo. Spawned some pretty useful stuff. A lot of gold. It's a pretty full chest. I don't need all these night vision potions because I have plenty of those. I will take these speed potions though. Those are really nice. I'll take the food, take the experience in case I ever die again, which I probably will. I have way too many night vision potions as it is, although, you know what? Since this is a recording, it would help to drink one of these because that just makes it everything a lot easier to see when this goes up on YouTube. So, yeah, that's the hidden cave dojo. So let me show you how you actually get back out of it, because there is actually another hidden button here somewhere. There it is. Oh, right, there's a delay on that one. Gotta be right up against the wall when it opens up, or else you're not gonna go through. We've seen the way back already, so I'm just gonna meet you back out, and we'll visit the next dojo. Alright, decided to meet you over here on the bridge. We saw this bridge the first time. This actually leads to the continent where the dungeons are, or at least where white through magenta are. And we're just gonna run through, and there's actually more on this other continent that we have not seen yet. So there is a lot of stuff here. I'm just gonna go run through and say screw it. Oh, my chest piece broke. That's fine, because I actually brought a spare one. So I knew that was gonna happen. In my last dungeon run, I just so happened to find another uncommon chest piece as I was getting a new shield. As you can see, I have a shield with the sun again, which is nice. So this is where we would usually go to White Wool, but there are other things to see here. There's actually a whole other continent over there, which we'll see that in a little bit. That's actually the one we're going to do after this one. We've got a big dragon cave over there, the cavern of the ancient dragon. That's again, that's what we'll do next. That's what's going to lead us to that other continent. And all of this is all part of Eastern Commons. Eastern Commons is so huge, but it's not like so big that you get lost in it, which is nice. It's still pretty easy to find your way around, and I need to eat. So over here, next to the Dragon Cave, we have this area right here. This area is kind of a special place. In the first iteration of Super Hostile Online, or as we now call it, SHO 1.0 or SHO Alpha, this is actually the original location of Eastwatch, and therefore this is known as the Old Eastwatch Dojo. This is where you would... Velgard City used to be like over here in this general area, and then this was the Old Eastwatch where you would go into Eastern Commons, and you would go down here, and it's cool that Vex basically turned this into a ruins area, and now it is actually a parkour dojo. However, it's not nearly as bad as the one in light blue, so this one is very easy, and I will try to do this on my first try, which I usually do. Of course, I haven't played as a scout in a while, so with all the new dungeon content, I've actually been playing as a defender mostly, mainly because I'm just really really afraid of dying because of all the things that do so much damage to you. And a lot of new enemies do a ton of damage, which is one reason why I'm glad that Vex actually changed the Merchant's Tunic to Merchant's Pants, which are iron instead of leather, so they last a lot longer. The tiered armor still doesn't really last very long. 81 is what we have on the uncommon chest plate, which that really isn't that much. But as you can see, we've almost reached the dojo here. And here we go, the old Eastwatch dojo. So this is actually where I get the safety feet, the feather falling boots that I wear in pretty much every video, I think. There's also some other stuff in here, like some decorative stuff. You can get some monster eggs, some fish eggs, some mossy stone if you're into that. I'm just gonna drop a bunch of stuff I don't need in here. I have way too much stuff. The gold is nice, I will definitely take the gold. Especially because every time you die, you're pretty much spending gold because you don't want to grind back up to your level. You just want to spend the gold and be done. So we can actually, we have a really nice view over here. There's actually an area up there we might check out later in the video. Or I might save that for another video. I think I will. And I'll group that together with something else that's over there. Or in the near vicinity. This is actually kind of funny. Vex was actually asked to place a chest somewhere up here, and he responded to that by placing a pixel art of a giant chest, which is that's just what Vex does. So let's just go back down, and we'll actually go back to Valgard City again. Gonna rest at the inn, and then we're gonna tackle the Dragon Cave. Okay, we're back. Decided to meet you back here because we're actually gonna go back to where we were a little bit differently this time. We are actually going to take this path, which we have not taken yet. Well, we kind of took this path because the trade packs, the airship dock is over there. But there's actually a whole other area over here that we never went to. And it is quite a special area. As you can see, it's quite a bit lower than the rest of the ground as it's loading in slowly. These are the clay flats. Quite a special area because it's probably the area that has gone through the most changes over the course of every SHO version. But first we're gonna take a look at something else, I believe. Real quick, because it's over here, I kind of want to take a look. Whoa, don't fall. This over here, if I can actually get up to the sign. This over here is the Clattering Tower. There's a lot of skeletons in there. I think it just mostly serves as a grinding spot, and I think there might be one loot chest somewhere. I think you have to take those iron bars over here to get to it. It basically spawns the same skeletons as the White Wool dungeon does. Or at least it used to. Not sure if it still does, but yeah, I'm not gonna linger around here for too long. It's a cool place, but we have other stuff to do. Mainly checking out the clay flats here. So basically, this area started out in SHO Alpha as a lake, a really big lake, and people built a fishing village there. Because in SHO Alpha, food was very scarce, and so fishing was one of the ways that people got food. Eventually, the lake got smaller as people, like I've said before, in SHO Alpha, everything was in survival mode, so people were actually like tearing out the terrain, they were chopping down trees, and as a result, Eastern Commons kind of experienced a drought of sorts, and well, all the clay, all the land turned brown, and all the nice stuff disappeared. The water level in this lake went down. Then a while later, a volcano erupted, and this whole place turned into lava instead. And so that was the thing, and that volcano mysteriously vanished eventually, leaving this area. And as when Valgard City fell out of the sky by the end of SHO Alpha and into SHO Beta, this is the area that we were left with. And it used to be a very popular grinding spot. When I was new to SHO, this is where I used to go. We had a lot of slime spawn here, although that doesn't happen anymore. It's a fairly quiet place, but in the most recent version, Vex has added these buildings, these ruins, and we're gonna see what spawns in them. We have an invisible spider. So these spawn, I don't know if I can actually see the spawner around here. I don't think I can. It's basically a spawner that constantly changes and it spawns random stuff. Some stuff very, very powerful. We have a new mob tier. They're the infernal mobs. They're nasty. They set you on fire, they do lots of damage, they run really fast. I'm pretty sure they can outrun scouts, which is insane. But yeah, here you have some of the a tier 1 creeper. See what else we have. A tier 1 zombie, I think that is. A fast creeper, it seems. Unless that's just a normal creeper. I know Vex's normal creepers are faster than like the default Minecraft creepers because he thought they were too slow and easy to avoid. That's one of the more powerful mobs. That's a raging zombie. I really don't like the raging ones. They have less health, but they're really fast and they do lots of damage. Thankfully I'm a scout, so I can outrun it. And these mobs are basically all over the dungeons now. They've been placed in old dungeons, in the new dungeons. And at first they were a little bit powerful and there were a lot of them, which is why I died so much. But yeah, that's basically the clay flats, and we can actually go back over here. Well, there's something I kind of looked at, and I meant to point it out, but I was explaining something else. Over here, we have a sign. Something here. Something feels very fishy about this place. A reference dating back to SHO 1.0 when this place used to be a fishing village, which is really cool. There used to be a cave over on that side that led to the old dungeon floors, but it is gone now. There's basically just a solid wall there, which kind of makes me wonder if we'll ever be able to go back there. I really hope we do, because basically the way that worked, the entrance to the dungeon floors, and we have a little outpost over here, a place where you can rest and stick some stuff in chests. The way that worked was it was basically where the old Velgard city fell, and there were like ruins of stuff that people built. It was really cool, and I kind of miss it. Like, the new dungeons are really cool, and they're definitely a lot nicer than the old dungeon floors, but I really like the fallen Velgard area, and I hope we'll see it return in some form. Maybe we won't, but we're actually just going up the cliffs again, and this eventually loops back around to well, you'll see. I think we're actually at the final stretch here. There should be a glowstone area. This is actually the way we used to take to get to the other continent. Nowadays we just take the broken bridge, but that bridge didn't exist in 2.0, so we had to take this path. And as you can see, we have come full circle, and this is where the entrance to the White Wool dungeon is. And if we keep going here, we have this bridge, and we'll actually be back where we were, so that we can check out the final part of oh, excuse me. We can actually check out the final part of our Eastern Commons dojo exploration. Right over here at the Cavern of the Ancient Dragon. We're gonna be exploring the dungeon in full today. Or it's not really a dungeon, it's more like a mini dungeon of sorts. Now, I usually don't go this way. I usually drop down onto the bridge that we'll see in a little bit. I usually just go this way when I go back, but this place can get pretty crowded. It always used to be like an iffy area to explore. Sometimes it was really quiet and nothing spawned, and sometimes everything spawned, and it was not a nice time. Looks like we just have a lot of spiders this time. I don't like creepers falling behind me. Falling creepers are bad news because they do so much damage if they explode. Just run through here quickly so we don't have to deal with stuff here. Don't try to fight in here because more stuff will spawn than you can actually kill. So over here is the bridge I was talking about. You can actually just drop down from up here onto this area. And over here we have the crumbling ruins. And we can go up here. I'm kind of just going through here quickly because I don't want to spawn stuff. And skeletons can spawn in here, which is a bad time when you're trying to climb ladders. So then we have this maze area here. And let's see if I can remember the way through. It's been a while. Oh god. This used to be like a really straightforward way, but it's actually been changed. There is a hole here now. Can I actually get you to shoot that creeper? No. I wanted a record, but I guess we're not getting one. Yeah, you could try to go over there if you're good, but the better option is to just find a way around. Which is right here, I think. So we run over here. And eventually we should reach this place, which is the exit. And this leads to the third continent of Eastern Commons. Once we climb out of these ruins. There we go. So we've reached the other side. And there is a dojo over here. You can actually see it up on the mountain over there. That dojo used to be the only dojo in SHO when we were on version 2.0. People used to go there to grab. There was always a free suit of leather armor, and there was actually that dojo over there is not the one we're going to at all. That's actually the old Eastwatch dojo. The one we're going to is up here. Yeah, this was the one that gave you a full suit of leather armor and a sharpness wooden sword, which back then was really special. Like in 2.0, we didn't have nearly, our gear was not nearly as good as it is now. So as we climb up here, we will reach the mountain dojo. There are some signs there explaining dojos to you. And this is the thing you get. It's a stone sword with sweeping edge and unbreaking. I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't actually run this place very often. Also because it's kind of dangerous to get here through the dragon cave. Protection 1 leather pants. I don't need that. Got a lot of sword and the backup axe apparently. That's always nice to have. Okay. So, before we end this video, there is one more thing I need to show you. And it is going to be dangerous. Back when we went to the Red Sands and I showed you the outpost there, I promised that I would show you the intended way, or the way you're supposed to go to Red Sands at first. And that is actually through here. This is another cave that's really dense with spawns and dangerous, so you shouldn't linger here too long. Oh god. So as we go over to this area here, there is some scary parkour coming up over Void, which I really don't like. I haven't been this way in a long time. So General rule of thumb with this place is never just jump down. Even if it looks like you can, you usually can't. Like, this is a drop that looks like you can easily make it, but... Ooh, God. There is actually void there. I believe there are some holes in here as well. Like, this is not solid completely. Yeah, there's a hole there. There's actually a chest there. I'm pretty sure you can't get that chest. I think that's just to troll people and to make them fall into the void. So there is one more scary jump, I believe, and it is coming up right now. It is actually over here. So I think the thing you're supposed to do with this one is jump from one stone block to the other, and you're safe. That's the scary part of it. There's one more jump over here, and now we've reached Red Sands. So I think with that we've done pretty much everything there is to do in Eastern Commons, except for one thing up on the mountain. But that actually leads to a side dungeon, so we'll probably do that when we go take care of that side dungeon as well. I'm just gonna go to the outpost and take the airship back to take the warp back to Velgard City, which is actually not this way. It is over here. But I think next time we'll take care of the new areas. We will visit the areas that have been added. We'll visit the pink and lime dungeons once I actually manage to beat them properly, so it might take me a while. But in due time, we'll take care of those dungeons. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.